Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Sports Dép Podcast. My name is Joey Alfieri. As always, I'm with my good buddy Simon Tsalikis, noted Chicago Bears fan. And yes, we predominantly talk hockey on this podcast, but every Thursday we do like to leave ourselves open to talk about whatever the heck we want. But I try to narrow it down for Simon. We're going to keep it to the sporting world because if I tell Simon you can talk about whatever you want, we go off topic very quickly.
Yes.
I don't want this to get political, Tsalikis. I don't want to hear your thoughts on Venezuela. I don't want to hear any of that stuff. I want to keep it to the here, the now, and obviously, I love watching football every NFL Sunday. But when we get to this point of the season, we're not in the regular season anymore. It's playoff time. This is for all the marbles. This is a team that's going to play in February.
I'm going to say second week of February.
It's that weekend, the first weekend in February, or no, the 10th.
Second.
It's the 10th now. Yeah, that's right. There's an extra week. I'm pretty sure it's February 10th, if I'm not mistaken.
My daughter is because if the
Will they have a cheer competition or something?
No. If the Bears play in the Super Bowl,
no, it can't be the 10th. It's got to be
the 8th.
It's got to be the 8th. Yeah, fair point. Yes, we're into that point of the season, and I mean the NFL regular season. I mean it was just absolute cinema. The Ravens and Steelers. I knew I was tuning in there was a lot of games that didn't mean anything. That's what I found. With the extra team that makes the playoffs now. I know the NFC South was up for grabs on Sunday, and there was some playoff seeding and stuff like that. Saw a little bit of Denver and the Chargers, and Justin Herbert didn't play, and the Eagles rested a bunch of guys, and there's a bunch of teams that had nothing to play for. And so, I watched, paid attention during the day, but really focused in, didn't flip to World Juniors. Then I was 100% focused on that game, the Sunday night game, and it didn't disappoint. I mean, it was
great
very entertaining, great football game, great finish. Was with sister's boyfriend, big Ravens fan, watching the game together with dad, brother, everybody's there. And my family does not have a rooting interest. I'll be honest with you, as somebody who watches sports, Simon, when you don't have a horse in the race, you just gravitate to one team or the other. I was Ravens. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I think what Mike Tomlin has done, can call for Mike Tomlin to be fired. I know there's a bunch of Steelers fans that were before the beginning of the year. To me, 10-7 again with an aging roster, with a 40-something-year-old quarterback. I don't know how they get this out of there. It's a big culture thing in my mind. But I'm kind of tired of it. I'm tired of it, but it's no disrespect to them. I don't think they're going to go on a run, but who am I to know? And honestly, this is one of the things I'm looking forward to because they have the Monday Nighter.
Means the Texans.
Against the Texans. I want to see, one of my storylines is, I want to see, are the Steelers, is this just going to be a blip on the radar and that's it? Or are they going to win a playoff game or two? They haven't won a playoff game, I think, since 2016.
Long time.
It's been a long time. And so at some point, they're going to have to freshen up this roster. Hayward's getting older and Aaron Rodgers is old. And, they made the big acquisition for DK Metcalf. And that was one of the more impressive things. There was no DK Metcalf the last two games. There was no DK Metcalf on Sunday night. And they still find a way to get it done. So I didn't want the Steelers to get in. I'm not going to lie to you. I find them a little boring. But credit to them. Credit where credit is due because I didn't have them at 10-7 this year.
No, impressive. What they did, I believe it's one of the most expensive defenses in football. So they try to rely on that. They try to get a run game going. Kind of found a little bit. DK Metcalf is that big receiver. They didn't have him down the stretch. So pretty impressive. I believe they went into Detroit and beat the Lions when the Lions were fighting for their playoff lives. That was very impressive. But just to go to the Ravens here for a second, I've always said this. I use the example. The Chicago Bears have been not good for the last 10 years, and the inability to win a game.
Yeah.
They didn't have that. Jaden Daniels, Hail Mary, missing a field goal at the buzzer. So they were a bad team. But even when they were put in a position to win, they didn't know how to do it.
Right.
The Ravens are a very good team who doesn't know how to close football games.
Yeah.
And, I don't know how active you were today on the socials, but, the Zay Flowers fumble on the 1 yard line against the Chiefs. Yeah. The Mark Andrews drop for the 2-point conversion. Yesterday, a very makeable field goal. I know it's not the easiest football stadium to kick in, but it's a very makeable field goal.
44 yards, you got to make it.
The guy in Jacksonville was kicking 67 yards. I get it. The weather's better in Jacksonville. They just the mistakes that they made, give the Steelers credit. No turnover. I don't think they had a turnover or anything. The Lamar Jackson batted ball down. TJ Watt
No turnover, but at the end of the half, they essentially
they went for it. They went for it.
It was a terrible play call, by the way.
The Ravens. I don't know where they go from here.
The pitch, the pitch out wide, that was a terrible play call at the
Steelers
end, at the half.
Yeah, terrible. Just put it. If you're gonna get Aaron Rodgers, keep it in his hand there, right? So I don't know where the Ravens go from here. The Steelers look incredible test. The Texans defense is probably the best
defense. Can win games.
They're the best 11 in all of football.
That defense can win games.
We'll see CJ Stroud, right? We're going to see the CJ Stroud we saw in his rookie year, or what we've seen the last couple of years.
It's just the Ravens didn't really put Aaron Rodgers under duress.
No.
And when you can get into Aaron Rodgers' grill and you can knock him around, especially early. I mean, it's like any quarterback, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't move so well anymore.
No.
And
it's
so
a bad
that's the
matchup
one.
For the Steelers.
Yeah, that's the one. I'm not sure. I think the physicality of the Texans defense. I think DK Metcalf. This is the important game for DK Metcalf because he has the physical ability to get off the press, stretch the field. I think that's going to be key. The Rodgers Metcalf relationship is going to be key in this. I think they're going to need a big time performance from DK.
Well, I think they got to get a run game going. They got to get everything because that Texans front four is gonna tee off on whoever they play. And like you said, look, Aaron Rodgers put up a nice. I think a very nice season for a guy in his age. Like, he didn't turn the ball over. He didn't make dangerous throws. He made a couple of beauty throws in that game.
Yeah. I thought that was it.
I
thought the field goal was going to be made, and that was it for Aaron Rodgers. That's how he was going to go out.
But one more game, we'll see how it goes. But it was, an interesting week. The Bears locked down the 2 seed. Just going to go to the Eagles here for a second. Like, Sirianni, why are you resting all your starters? Weird. Like, the Bears have the 2 seed. I don't even know if they're favored against the Packers. The line's moving from -1.5 to, from either end. It's going -1 Packers, -1 Bears. So it's a very close match. But the Eagles resting their guys, knowing that Dan Campbell's going to play all out to beat Ben Johnson, right? That's his boy. They coach together. So they have nothing to lose. Why are you not playing your starters? Don't you want to host 2 playoff games in football? Like, I don't get Sirianni.
Yeah, I know a bunch of his guys want to defend them. I don't know. Nick Sirianni makes a lot of weird decisions, and I didn't really get that one. I know you want the rest, but come on.
And the Eagles are a very good football team when they play playoff football in Philadelphia. It's hard to go into Philly and beat them in the playoffs. Yeah. So a little bit surprised that the Bears walked away with the 2 seed. The Eagles go there.
So the Eagles, I'll say this. I think, though, and it's not, I don't think they thought of it this way, but I do think that I would rather play the 49ers right now than the Packers, I think. Personally, for me, right now. I know they're a little banged up. I know the Packers are banged up, but still, I think I would rather play.
I think the Eagles are better than both those teams.
But that's what ended up. You ended up, instead of being the 2 seed and playing the Packers, you end up the 3 seed. You play the 49ers.
Well, maybe moving on to the next week if you win that game again. You're not hosting the week after.
That's it. Right.
That's the part. That's my disconnect.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Again, not playing your starters. Interesting to see how it plays out. Carolina, good on them. You know what?
Coaching matters, man. Dave Canales did an unbelievable job with Bryce Young there. Liam Cohen out in Jacksonville. You mentioned Jacksonville.
Vrabel and Johnson, but
Jacksonville Jaguars lost 13 games last year, man. They won 13 games this year.
It's crazy. And you look at Shanahan in San Francisco. Mac Jones is a luxury to have as a backup, right?
But still, they went out there and won games with their backup. They were very banged up. Fred Warner's
out.
Climbing.
Bosa
might be back.
is out.
Yeah.
Who's it? Brendan Ayuk hasn't shown up yet. They're still waiting for him to literally show up to the building.
I don't think they're waiting for him to show up anymore.
He's driving by and posting.
I think they're done with Brandon Ayuk.
Kittle has missed games. And some great work there by Shanahan. I don't know if he'll get the notoriety that he deserves, but he's done some great work there.
This is a really good coaching job that he did. I thought he got a lot out of this roster.
And it's wide open. I don't think it's without Patrick Mahomes there.
What do we say? I told you before the show. It's the first AFC title game without Mahomes, Brady, or Mark Sanchez since 2008.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
It's 17 years, man. What, 18 years?
Ridiculous.
Look, it is wide open. A lot of young quarterbacks out there, too. Aaron Rodgers, I know, is the older guard. But you got Bo Nix. You got Caleb Williams. You got Drake May.
Justin Herbert's in the middle there. Trevor Lawrence, same deal.
Yeah, he's young. I think they're still young, right? They're still considered young. And especially for some of these guys like Trevor Lawrence, who was a prodigy coming out. Was the first pick, first overall. And we knew that 5 years before his draft year.
Yeah.
And an incredible turnaround there. So I think there's a lot of parity. It's nice. I don't think there's a front runner. I don't know why this entire season I know why, but I've had a nice soft spot for the Rams. I think when they put it all together and they're clicking on all cylinders, I still think they're the best team in football.
Tough to stop.
But they'll have to travel a little bit to get it done. So we'll see. But it is very nice to see it all wide open like this.
Okay, before we get into I'll ask you about the Bears. I'll let you talk about your Bears-Packers matchup there. I want to circle back to the Ravens. This is where I wanted to go. Okay, I'm going to ask you right now. Next year, John Harbaugh back, Lamar Jackson back, one of them back, none of them back. How do you think that this plays out? Because I think I have an answer that might surprise you.
I don't think it's a slam dunk. I don't think there's. I know Lamar Jackson's a 2-time league MVP, but I don't think it's set in stone that he's back. And John Harbaugh has an incredible winning percentage, Super Bowl champion, all these teams, competitive teams, all.
Well, you saw that article in the Baltimore Sun, right? The one that came out a few weeks ago about Lamar Jackson showing up late and not studying hard enough and video games and all that stuff.
I think that
doesn't come out by accident.
No,
somebody's trying to send a message.
I never read that article, but I know that it made it onto social media, and the writer of that article is a
Ravens
reputable, not clickbait guy. He writes sports articles for a living, right?
But Simon, how does that get out? Somebody internal.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what it is. They're trying to send a message there.
But I don't know. Is it a slam dunk that Lamar Jackson comes back? Now,
I don't think it's a slam dunk either one of them come back. If you have to pick one, though, if you want to make a change, if you're the owner out there, Steve Bisciotti, I'm going to stick with the quarterback because there's no guarantee that I'm going to be able to find another quarterback.
You won't. But you also got to remember here that Lamar's got one more year left on his deal, I believe.
Is that it? He just signed, didn't he?
And then he's got, what he's going to ask for, $75 million, who I think he's a freakish athlete. He's awesome to watch. But when you put down the resume and you look at the win-loss record in the postseason.
Last night is not, that you're going to put that on Lamar Jackson last night?
No, but I will put down the body of work that they've never gone, I don't think, far enough with him.
I agree. They've underachieved. They've done nothing but underachieve.
Do I think he's a great quarterback? The answer is yes. Are you ready to commit 4 more years at $75 million to him? And you haven't really...
It's going to be the going rate. It's going to be the going rate very soon.
If I had to guess, though, just...
you think they're bringing it all back?
I think they're going to run the...
I think John Harbaugh out. I think there's going to be a mutual parting of the ways with John Harbaugh. I think they're going to bring in somebody new.
Okay. Listen,
and by the way, I just want to say I don't think Lamar Jackson's untouchable. I don't think this is one of those cases where somebody picks up the phone and says, "Hey, Lamar Jackson," they're not laughing you off the phone. You know, the Eric DeCosta GM out there is not laughing you off the phone.
No,
it's nothing like that. I don't think you're going to get rid of both. And I think maybe it's just an amicable. Hey, John Harbaugh, thank you. But we're going to go in a different direction because look, things are going well. It's a really well-run organization, but in the big moments, we just haven't delivered.
No, like nobody else. The fail in the big moments, there's no other team I'm thinking, I guess the Bills back in the day, Music City Miracle and Wide Right or whatever it was, Scott Norwood.
Yeah.
But nobody fails like the Baltimore Ravens. It's painful to watch because that's a good football team. You saw it week 1, coasting, running the Bills. I think the game might have been in Buffalo. I think it was in Buffalo. They're just running the Bills right off the field. All of a sudden, wanted to pop. Derrick Henry fumbles, game completely turns, and they lose a game that the probability of winning was extremely high. So
I agree.
We'll see how it plays out for them.
Okay, you want to talk about your 2 versus 7, your matchup here? Like, what concerns you about the Bears? What are you looking at? What's your, how confident are you going into this?
I'm not very confident. It's a tight.
You don't want to get heartbroken?
No, the defense is not very good. It's incredible that they led the league in turnovers by a mile. But you can move the ball on them several ways. You can run it and you can throw it. And so when you can do that,
there's not really many other ways to move the ball.
So when you can do that, they don't pressure the quarterback, which I think in today's NFL you're dead. Yeah. You're dead when you can't do that. So the defense,
the Ravens. Just go back to the Ravens. Ravens,
nothing.
that's a team, the defense that would always get after the quarterback on Sunday night.
Nothing
there.
And you can't get to the quarterback. Can't stop the run. Jalen Johnson, I would say 2 years ago, before the injury, or even last year, was one of the 5 best shutdown corners in football. He's come back from injury. He is anything but that. So you don't have your shutdown guy to at least say, okay, we'll lean on this. I just don't trust this defense. We'll see what happens. Caleb Williams' first playoff game.
You predicting a loss?
I'm not predicting a loss, but I'm not. I don't feel confident. I'm not willing to bet. I'll bet you a coffee, but I'm not willing to bet you $100 here or anything like that.
Really?
Well, the spread's 1.5. Vegas is telling us there's no clear favorite in this game. So we'll see. Jordan Love's been in the postseason before. That might be a small edge. Sure. But again, I don't know what the Bears can do between now and Saturday night to get better on defense.
The team that you're kind of just most intrigued by in the playoffs before we go?
I'm going to say Texans.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know why. Caught them a couple of times. Saw the beatdown that they put on the Buffalo Bills there on Josh Allen. CJ Stroud's a guy that I liked in college as well. I don't know. I guess Texans. We've seen everybody else. I had Eagles Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Did you?
I did.
It's not going to happen.
Nope, it's not going to happen.
It's okay. I'm good with that not happening.
Yeah.
And I don't even hate the Chiefs. It's just, to me, I don't want to see it again.
I thought they had a very good offseason, which is crazy. I thought they did have a very good offseason. Yeah. I thought they were healthier than they've ever been, and then the bottom falls out. They can't win one-score football games. I still think the Eagles are a team to keep an eye on. I think they have the ability to flip a switch. But right now, I'm going to go Rams, Texans.
Okay. Super Bowl.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, you're giving me a Super Bowl prediction.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Too early.
Ask for that. No,
I think you have to do it now.
Yeah, sure.
Can't do what guys are eliminated.
It's funny. The two teams that will intrigue me most, and I'm gonna watch every single one of these games, but the two teams that intrigue me most are playing against each other. Jacksonville, Buffalo. I'm really curious to see. I don't think the Bills have had better teams that have not won the Super Bowl, but there's no Patrick Mahomes. And again, I think the Broncos are a really good team with a really good defense. They have a young quarterback. Same thing with the 2 seed. Drake May. I like Drake May. Drake May had an unbelievable year, but it's a young quarterback going. And you never know what you're going to get. So I don't want to say it's wide open for Buffalo because it's a tough. It's a tough AFC. There's no doubt about that. But to me, I'm intrigued, and I like the Jaguars. I like them. I like that they were able to turn this around, and I like how quickly they came in. And to me, coaching matters in every sport, Simon. But to me, coaching matters in the NFL. Coaching matters in football, in football, and in college football. Coaching matters,
no other sport. That's why there's 30 of them. Yeah. That's how complex it is. I think this might be the Jags coming out party because I think we all watched the Jags play the Chiefs in maybe week 1 or 2 or something. Yeah. And I don't remember the Jags ever being back on a nationally televised game where I probably missed it. But even without Travis Hunter. Now, I say that because that's, when you're a young team and you turn it around, the guy you draft second
pick, man,
turns out to be an outstanding running back, an all-world wide receiver, an edge rusher who's breaking, Michael Strahan records. No, they're even doing this, and I'm drawing. Was it Brian Thomas Jr.?
Yeah,
the guy was a freak last year in a class with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Rome Odunze.
Down here,
and he was better than all of them. Yeah. Right. So you look at you don't have the stud receiver you thought you were going to have in year 2. And you don't have the second pick overall from an NFL entry draft, and all this getting done. So good on them.
Those are the ones that intrigue me. Super Bowl pick. In total transparency here, I think I know I'm putting down the Broncos with Bo Nix. I think the Broncos have a chance to be in the Super Bowl. I'm going to go with the Broncos in the AFC, and I know I'm taking the 1 seed. I'm not picking Seattle on the other side. What'd you say? You said Rams?
Rams, Texans.
Rams. Rams are going to beat the Panthers.
They lost to the Panthers this
I know, but
they're
going to beat the Panthers. I know. I actually watched a lot of that game.
Me too. I don't know why it was on.
I know it was on, and I watched a lot of that game. No, I'm going to go Eagles. I'm going to be boring, but I'm going to go Eagles and Broncos. That's what I think it's going to be.
Eagles,
Broncos. But the Eagles got to figure out that passing game. It's run very hot, very cold. Without Kellen Moore, it was tough. There was times.
That's a bad matchup for the Eagles.
I know it is. I do think that they're going to get there. I think they'll get hot. I think they'll be okay. But I'm going to go Broncos and Eagles. That's what I'm going to do for my Super Bowl pick, for whatever it's worth.
All right, I can live with that.
I'm never right with these things, by the way.
I don't like the uniform clashing. It doesn't look good. The Broncos and the Eagles uniforms.
If they go orange and Kelly Green, you wouldn't like that?
I don't know. Doesn't look like.
I don't think that's.
It doesn't look very promising. No.
Okay, Simon.
Yes,
behave
sir.
Yourself. Have a good rest of your week, okay?
Yes, sir.
This is it for the Sports Dép Podcast. My name is Joey Alfieri with Simon Tsalikis. We'll be back with more hockey talk. By the way, tomorrow's guest, former NHLer, former Montreal Canadian, Pierre Dagenet.
Nice.
How about that? So Pierre Dagenet will come on the podcast and tell some stories tomorrow about... you promise you're going to ask him about the relationship between Saku Koivu and Mike Ribeiro all those years ago?
I think we have to.
You're going to ask him, you promise? Okay,
Yes.
I'll let you ask him. All right. This is it for the Sports Dép Podcast. We're back talking Montreal Canadiens and hockey tomorrow with former NHLer Pierre Dagenet.